Hello everybody, it is Charlie here and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. I hope you've all had a great Sunday so far despite the result yesterday away at Tottenham. So it's time for the final say, so I'm just going to give my final thoughts on yesterday's game and just the overall situation at Leeds United now, as obviously there's no games until the 28th of December when Man City come to Elland Road, which I am dreading, but on the plus side, we don't need to worry about that for quite a while, and we can just maybe take a step back, have time to reflect, and stress about England in the World Cup instead. So just before we get into it, please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel and share all of your thoughts and opinions on everything that I go through in today's upload in the comment section down below, as you always do. So yeah, let's get into it then. So 4-3 away at Spurs. I think if you isolate it as a one-off result, you think, yeah, Leeds United competed for large spells of the game and were just unlucky against a top quality side. Which, yeah, if you isolate it down as that, then fair enough. But when you look at it in the sense of, you know, I've seen a stat that it's the first time in Leeds United's history that we've ever been, was it that we'd ever took the lead 3 times in a game and still lost, which I found quite interesting. I've seen a lot of other content creators over the last, 24 hours or so. I've seen tweets, I've seen Instagram posts, I've seen comments on Instagram posts, all that jazz, with different points of view. And in a way, I can kind of agree with everybody. And I think there's a few factors at the minute as to why Leeds United find themselves in the position that we're in. I've purposely chose to do this after the Aston Villa game because I wanted to see where Leeds would end up. We're currently in 15th place. After starting the weekend's games in 12th. So we've dropped down 3 places, which isn't great. Even if we'd have held on for a point yesterday, which, let's be honest, it should have been, that Harry Kane goal was never a goal in a million years. No consistency with VAR, but this is not going to be a video where I just moan about VAR because I could go on all day. Now, as you can see in the thumbnail, as you can see in the title of the upload, who is to blame then? So if we're going off just yesterday, I think it's a mixture of the players and Jesse Marsch. And I say that because for 80 minutes, yes, Spurs had scored 2 goals by that point, but we were winning 3-2. I felt like the game plan was working. Obviously, as I said, the Kane goal was just not a goal, let's be honest. The second one that they scored right after the break, unlucky that it kind of bobbled through a few of our players. Melier kind of lost track of it. So I don't really blame anyone as such for that. The only thing I can kind of blame is maybe Pascal falling asleep at the throw-in. They take that quick throw in to Kulusevski and obviously manages to beat the Leeds player, and he gets to the byline, ball into the box, and then we all know what happened. So that I can live with. I felt the game plan, I felt the tactics were spot on for 80 minutes. But when Rodrigo scores the 3rd goal, Marsch decides to go to a 5 at the back. Now, I can understand it because you're 3-2 up away at Tottenham with 10 minutes to go, pretty much, and you're wanting to hold on to that lead. I get it. I completely get it. I can understand his thinking. But on the flip side to that, and actually, just before I get into that point, there's people that have said, well, he did that against Bournemouth, he did it against Liverpool. I think they were totally different games and totally different situations as to why he chose to do that then. Yesterday, for me, he had no reason to change it because like I said, I felt the game plan was good. The tactics were working. We'd scored 3 goals. We were at them. We were in the faces. We were pressing well. There was a lot of individual good performances. Even in defence, I thought we handled Kane, Richarlison quite well. I think it was only Kulusevski where Pascal really struggled to cope with him, but he had a good game, did Kulusevski. I'm not saying that that's Pascal's fault at all. But he went to 5 at the back, and I felt the players just lost the plot a little bit with it. I think they were all unaware as to what the plan was when Luke Ayling came on. And he brought Luke Ayling on for Mark Rocker. So then you're taking Mark Rocker off. You're losing a man in midfield. For me, if you're going to bring Mark Rocker off, bring Darko JB on. Bring JB on, who plays that position. For me, when I saw Ayling warming up, I thought, right, he's bringing Rasmus off. But he didn't. He kept Rasmus on. I think he ended up bringing Rasmus off in the end. But on that substitution, he took Mark Rocker off for Luke Ayling. And you just lose a man in midfield, and you're just inviting pressure onto us by doing that. And that's exactly what Spurs did. They realised that there was a gaping hole in midfield, and they exploited it, as any top team or even team with half a brain cell would do in that scenario. And by bringing Luke Ayling on to have 5 at the back to be more defensive, we then concede 2 goals in 3 minutes. So for me, that side of it is down to Jesse Marsch, 100%. But where I'm blaming the players is, I've watched the highlights back. I watched Match at Day. I've seen it on the Sky Sports YouTube channel as well. Bentancur's goals, it is so easy for Spurs to get in behind us. We just switched off. And for the 4th goal especially, the 1-2, and now we just lost track of that man just running through the channel. And then Kulusevski. Koch's challenge on Kulusevski isn't even a challenge. He just steps in front of him and he just lets him waltz past him. And Liam Cooper, if you actually watch Liam Cooper, and it was pointed out on Match of the Day as well. So this isn't me just saying this. It was pointed out on Match of the Day, and it's clear as day. As Kulusevski's running, Cooper's not even trying to bust a gut to get back to trap Bentancur. He's just jogging. He's just jogging away. His old Liam sees Bentancur in front of him. Doesn't think, oh, I need to get onto him. I need to at least make an effort to block that ball into his path. But no, we'll just let... And then as soon as the ball went in, he just kneels down and he's just holding his knees. Like, come on, mate. Come on. Do you know what I mean? And look, I've not rated Cooper for a while, but this isn't... If it have had... I actually felt Cooper was having a really good game up until the last 10 minutes. I felt all our back four were. But then he changed it to a 5. And for me, when he changed it to a 5, they looked lost. They looked confused. They didn't know which man was theirs. As I said, it leaves a gaping hole in midfield. We don't have the quality to deal with that. And again, I can understand him making the decision to an extent because he's trying to see the game out. But we were the masters of our own downfall yesterday. We were. Like I said, for 80 minutes, we were great. Played really well. The 3 goals were unbelievable finishes. Somerville 4 in 4, Rodrigo 5 in 4, 9 in 13 for Rodrigo. Which, yeah, his link-up play and his build-up play hasn't been great, and he has made the odd error this season. But if he continues at this rate, he's on course to score about 20 goals this season. So he's kind of going under the radar in terms of what people are rating him as at the minute. Look, I've had things to say about him this season, but you can't argue with the stats at the end of the day. He's scored 9 goals in 13 games. I actually felt yesterday was probably up there with his best game for Leeds in general. Thought his link-up play was really well in transition. I thought it was a lot quicker, a lot more urgency. And his finishes were both top-class finishes. Unbelievable performance from him. I thought Somerville was decent. I took his goal well. Willie Gnonto obviously didn't have the best of halves, which was a bit disappointing, but I think that was the right sub to make at half-time. I was happy to see Greenwood come on. Greenwood was okay, but I just felt it's just so disappointing that we took the lead 3 times and we still lost the game. So if you look at it in a broader sense, 2 wins in 11, I think I'm right there. 2 wins in 11 games. For me, that's not good enough in terms of form. Whether you're blaming the players, whether you're blaming Marsh, the board, whoever, that's not good enough. There's managers who have been sacked for less. And that's why I've put the title as Who is to Blame for all this so far this season. Now, I may do another upload through the week where I kind of speak about the season as a whole. But just briefly, I think, look, Marsh, I'll be honest, I'm still not completely sold on Jesse Marsh at the minute. I'm still sceptical. A few weeks ago I did want him out, but I think the recent results, the recent performances, because if you take yesterday's game as a overall, we did play well. It was just the last 10 minutes where it changed formation and it didn't work and it cost us 100%. But the Liverpool result, the Bournemouth result in terms of the performance for 60 minutes was a shambles. But I was very pleased with the desire, the determination, the fight that we showed to get those 3 points. So I'm at a point now where I'm not sure if I want him out. I'm very 50-50. A large part of me believes this style of football is not sustainable long term. But then a bit of me is looking at the last few results thinking, is it just the fact that if we had better personnel, that the system would work, maybe? I think regardless of who the manager is when it comes to the January window, we need to improve the defence, because the defence is shocking. It really is. I think offensively, I think we're actually quite decent. I think we've done really well this season, actually, in an attacking sense. Obviously, there's been games where we have looked toothless up front, but I guess any team can maybe have games like that. Overall, this season, from an attacking standpoint, I think we've been decent. But defensively, we are embarrassing. We are an absolute joke when it comes to defending. Is that down to personnel? Is that down to Jesse Marsh? Is defensive tactics not working? Who knows? But I'm sorry, people, and this may offend some people out there, but players like Liam Cooper, players like Luke Ayling, they're not good enough. It's as simple as that. Cooper, for me, only gets played because he's captain, and that's facts. That is facts. Because as a footballer, he is shocking. In my opinion. Really good in the Championship. Was the captain that got us promoted. I love the guy. But if we're going to evolve, if we're going to move forward, if we're going to progress, players like Cooper, players like Ayling, other positions, players like Click, even Dallas to an extent. Now, I actually think Dallas can be useful as a really good squad player. But Click, Ayling, Cooper, these sorts of players should not be wearing the Leeds United shirt in 2022. I've seen other content creators say it, and I agree. It's true. If we're going to evolve, players like this should not be at our football club. And that is facts. That is straight up facts. People say that Cooper's a leader, which he must be a good leader because the amount of managers that have still made him captain, the players still want him as captain. But when I'm at Ellen Road, I don't see a leader on that pitch from him. I don't see him barking orders. I don't see him organising that back four. I see Tyler Adams barking orders. I see Adams pointing at people, telling people where they need to be. I see other players even sparking orders more than Cooper. So again, look, this isn't a personal attack on Liam Cooper. I actually thought he had a decent game yesterday up until those last 10 minutes where I think he could have easily prevented that Bentancur, their winning goal. You see him just jogging back. I think Robin Koch has been good, but not great. I think he's had good games. I think he's had really bad games. Christensen, I feel, started off poor, but has grown into it and has got a lot better of late. Pascal's been our best defender this season. He should be at left centre-back. We need to bring a left-back in so Pascal can play on the left. Koch and Strauch would be a very good partnership, I think. And I stand by that. I've said it for a long time. Llorente, Firpo, they should be nowhere near our squad as well. Nowhere near it. Jack Harrison, for me, of late, has just not been great. I've seen people say that he's done. I wouldn't go that far to say that he's done. I just think he's in a really bad run of form. I've seen people say that they'd accept a bid from Newcastle if they were still interested in January. I wouldn't be so thingy with that. I do still think Jack Harrison can be an asset to this team if he's played in his correct position, which for me is on the manager. We've still got Sinistera to come back as well, which is a huge positive for us. Bamford, for me, is done now. In my opinion, he is. He's definitely done. He's made of biscuits. Whenever he's played, his finishing's just not been there. He's low on confidence. His time at Leeds is coming to an end, in my opinion. This squad needs massive surgery. We need a few defenders. We need another midfielder. We need a striker, left back, as I said. But like I said, Marsh said in his press conference that they wanted signings, but then he was bigging up the youth, which doesn't sit right with me because it makes me think that they're not going to bring anyone in, or if they do, it's going to be an under 21 signing, which is just not good enough. And I just don't know how to feel at the minute. We're going into the World Cup in 15th place, 2 points above the relegation zone. If that's not ringing alarm bells for the board, I do not know. Could they make a managerial change? Possibly. I don't think they will, though. I think the last 3 games, 6 points out of 9, that's how they'll see it. I think he'll get another window. I think he'll probably get the January window. If we don't bring a lot of people in and we start to go lower and lower down the table, he will have to go at that point. That's where I'll be adamant that he has to go. I was adamant a few weeks ago, but the last few results and performances have made me be a little bit on the fence with it. I want him to do well. I want him to turn it around. I want his tactics to work. I want his in-game management to get a lot better, because we showed that yesterday that it just felt a bit when he changed the formation. Southampton, the second game of the season, we were 2-0 up. He didn't make the subs on time. That cost us. We've took the lead in 5 out of our last 7 games and we've only gone on to win 2. It's really bad. Offensively, sound. Defensively, a joke. Defensively, embarrassing, woeful, all of the above. And I'm just glad now that we've got this break where hopefully the confidence can get higher. Rejuvenate, reflect, hopefully make some tactical adaptations, We've only got 3 players going to the World Cup. 3. Which is a huge benefit for us. Because we can get players in, fitness, new ideas, new drills, new tactics, new lots of things. We need a lot of new things to improve our season. And that's where I am going to leave it. Who do you think is to blame for yesterday? Who do you think is to blame for the start of the season so far? Is it the players? Is it Marsh? Is it the board? Is it all of the above? Is it a mixture? Hit me up in the comment section down below, guys. Please like the video if you've enjoyed it. It really helps get the video out there in terms of the algorithm and such. Please subscribe if you're new as well. We're so close to hitting 2k. I'd like to hit 2k by March when I'll have had the channel for 2 years. That'll be good. I'm going to take a little bit of a break this week. Obviously, it's my other half's birthday. Next weekend, we're going to Amsterdam for a few days this week. So I'm just going to take a break, just to have a break from Leeds United. I may do some England content for the World Cup. We'll see about that. So yeah, as I said, hit that like button. Please subscribe. Share all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.